Hello and welcome. This is Notibot ENG. In a volatile Middle East, tensions are escalating as Iran's conflict with its neighbors reaches a boiling point. A key showdown looms in the Persian Gulf, while global markets reel from the latest developments. Today, we'll bring you updates on Qatar's warning to Iran, Russia's credibility under fire, and oil prices soaring amid stalled talks. We'll also delve into defense spending with the Pentagon chief and explore the implications of a crucial meeting between Trump and Xi Jinping. Let's get started. A growing Middle Eastern tensions alert as a major player in the region steps forward with a warning to its neighbor over a strategic waterway. Qatar has issued a stern warning to Iran, urging it not to weaponize the Strait of Hormuz to blackmail Gulf countries. The warning comes as tensions between the two regional powers continue to escalate. The Strait of Hormuz is a vital waterway connecting the Persian Gulf to the Arabian Sea, and it's estimated that over 20% of the world's oil passes through it. Iran has long been concerned about the presence of U.S. military forces in the region, which it views as a threat to its national security. In recent weeks, there have been several incidents involving Iranian speedboats intercepting and harassing U.S. Navy ships operating in the strait. The U.S. has responded by increasing its naval presence in the region, but Iran claims that this is an escalation of aggression. Qatar's Foreign Minister, Mohammed Al-Thani, has warned Iran that if it continues to provoke the U.S. and other Gulf states, it will face severe consequences. Al-Thani said that Qatar would not hesitate to take action to defend its interests and those of its allies. The warning from Qatar highlights the growing tensions between Iran and the U.S. in the region. The Strait of Hormuz is a critical choke point, and any disruption to oil supplies could have significant economic implications for the global economy. As the situation continues to escalate, it's clear that the stakes are high and the consequences of miscalculation could be severe. As tensions escalate in the Middle East, Vladimir Putin's leadership is being scrutinized once again. But does his credibility truly hang in the balance? As the conflict in Ukraine continues to drag on, Russia's involvement in the Iran war has raised eyebrows among analysts and diplomats alike. Despite being one of the key actors in the Syrian civil war, Syria's former President Bashar al-Assad has distanced himself from Russia's actions, citing a need for a unified Arab front against Western powers. Meanwhile, Russia has managed to maintain its position as a major player in the Middle East, leveraging its energy resources and clever propaganda efforts to sway public opinion. The Iranian government, however, remains wary of Russia's intentions, and the two nations have engaged in heated exchanges over issues such as military presence and economic cooperation. It is here that America's own struggle to achieve a quick victory in Iran has come into play. The U.S. withdrawal from the 2015 nuclear deal with Iran, coupled with its decision to reimpose sanctions on Tehran, has created an environment of distrust and hostility towards Western powers. Russia has effectively tapped into this sentiment, portraying itself as a champion of Iranian interests and a bulwark against American aggression. As a result, Putin's credibility in the region has been bolstered by his successful manipulation of these dynamics. His narrative that he is a defender of regional stability and a foe to Western imperialism has resonated with many in the Middle East. While some have questioned Russia's true motives, its ability to project power without sparking widespread international condemnation remains a significant advantage for Moscow. Following a tumultuous week of global turmoil, we're seeing another familiar foe on the move. Oil prices are surging for the third consecutive day. Oil prices have risen for the third day in a row as hopes for a deal to get ships moving through the Strait of Hormuz cooled. The latest surge in oil prices was fueled by U.S. President Donald Trump's comments that the month-old ceasefire with Iran was on life support. This comes after Tehran's response to a U.S. plan to end the war made clear the sides were far apart. The crisis began in September when Iranian-backed Houthi rebels fired missiles at Saudi Arabian oil targets, leading to retaliatory airstrikes and a subsequent escalation of tensions between the U.S. and Iran. The U.S. has imposed sanctions on Iran in an effort to curb its nuclear program, but Tehran says these sanctions are an attack on its economy. The ceasefire talks were launched by the U.S. and Russia as part of a broader effort to reduce violence in Yemen, where Houthi rebels are fighting against a Saudi-led coalition. However, with no clear breakthrough in sight, hopes for a deal to get ships moving through the Strait of Hormuz, which has been closed since the crisis began, have faded. Iran's hardline President Hassan Rouhani said on Tuesday that Tehran would not negotiate with Washington as long as it imposed sanctions. This statement has raised concerns among lawmakers and diplomats who are worried about the escalating tensions between the U.S. and Iran. The situation remains volatile, with all parties showing little willingness to compromise. As a result, oil prices continue to rise, affecting not just energy markets but also global stock markets. As the U.S. military presence in the Middle East continues to escalate, defense spending remains under fire from lawmakers and critics alike at home. In a tense hearing before the House Armed Services Committee on Tuesday, lawmakers grilled Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth over the escalating costs of the U.S. military's war with Iran. The discussion comes as tensions between the two countries continue to simmer, despite a fragile ceasefire that was brokered by President Donald Trump and Iranian Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei. The hearing focused on the growing bill for the war effort, which has now surpassed $10 billion since it began in January 2018. Hegseth testified before the committee, acknowledging that the costs were higher than initially anticipated but attributing them to a range of factors, including increased support for coalition partners and the need for more advanced military equipment. Committee members pressed Hegseth on why the administration had not provided more transparency about the war effort's financial details earlier. "We're talking about billions of dollars here," said Representative Adam Smith, chairman of the committee, who also serves as a co-sponsor of the Defense Authorization Bill. "It's time to get some accountability." The hearing highlights the complexity and uncertainty surrounding the U.S. military's involvement in the conflict. As tensions between Washington and Tehran remain high, lawmakers are increasingly concerned about the long-term implications of the war effort. With the fragile ceasefire hanging by a thread, Hegseth's testimony has raised questions about whether the administration is adequately prepared to respond to any escalation. As tensions escalate over the Iran conflict, a significant development is unfolding in the world of geopolitics involving two of its most influential leaders. The recent escalation of tensions in the Middle East has sent shockwaves throughout the global economy and geopolitics. The U.S.-Israel conflict on Iran has accelerated a fundamental shift in the region's security architecture. The Strait of Hormuz, a crucial oil passage, was paralyzed during the conflict, causing oil prices to spike above $110 per barrel. Iranian retaliation struck deep into Gulf territories, exposing the weakness of the long-standing bargain that defined the region. The U.S. had guaranteed Gulf security in exchange for the petrodollar, but this arrangement has been exposed as a mirage. U.S. assets came under direct attack, and its protective umbrella proved unable to prevent an existential economic shock to its allies. Consequently, China is now poised to become the Gulf state's principal economic and political partner, with the petroyuan emerging as a viable successor to the petrodollar. Iran and Russia are playing pivotal roles in this new order, but their interests diverge significantly. The war has fundamentally reset threat perceptions across the Gulf, shredding the previous logic of strategic hedging between Washington and Beijing. For decades, Gulf states assumed that while they traded east, their security ultimately resided with the U.S. fleet. The 2026 conflict has shattered this assumption, with 13 U.S. bases in the region rendered vulnerable or nearly uninhabitable at the peak of the fighting. The security guarantee proved a strategic liability rather than an asset. The petroyuan's emergence as a viable alternative to the petrodollar marks a significant shift in the global energy landscape, and its implications will be felt for years to come. That's all for today's news recap. Thank you for watching. We'll keep bringing you updates on the latest developments from around the world. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more in-depth analysis and breaking news. Stay informed with our channel and stay ahead of the curve.